Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/Malicious Compliance. In today's episode, I got fired and cost the store approximately $30,000. No work-related errands at lunchtime? Okay. The one with the manager who needed to know. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. I got fired and cost the store approximately $30,000. 2008, I quit/fired and they tried to get me arrested. I was working a second job at our local small grocery and butcher shop, few nights a week to pay for my kids' activities. I was hired as a cashier. The person that did the end-of-day butcher shop cleanup/sanitizing quit. So instead of hiring someone for cleanup, the owners decided that the cashiers could just do it between customers. The owner sat at their office, watching TV and around, and when a customer came in, doorbell would ring, they would buzz the phone in the butcher area for the cashier to come check them out. When I came in for my shift at 6 p.m. and was told about the new setup, I told them, no. I was not hired to clean up the butcher area, I was hired to run the register and stock shelves. The owner then said I would clean the butcher shop or I could consider myself fired, and they walked away. I said fine, I grabbed my things and left. Apparently, the owner thought I had gave in and was in doing the cleaning. So they buzzed the butcher area when customers came in for about 2 hours before someone told them no one was coming to check them out. The store's liquor area, cigarettes and scratchers got emptied out. It was 7:30 and I got a screaming phone call from the owner about how he was calling the police and I was going to get arrested. Yeah, right. Owner did call the police. The owner stated he wanted me arrested as an accomplice to the thefts because I had left. Cops asked me to come to the store, which I did, and I explained that the owner had fired me, so I went home and the CCTV would prove that fact. The tape was reviewed, and plain as day, the owner said I was fired. I estimate they lost about $30,000.00. That's some high-level managing there. He tried to make you the fall guy for his mess up. Hey boss man, pay attention to your workers. Or being the owner, pay attention to the CCTV. Sounds like the owner is manipulative and not used to anyone actually not doing what he says. He must be so confident to think his power play would work that a customer would need to let him know there is no cashier. If it's any comfort to them, they probably would have got fined for having cashiers with no food handling certification clean up the butcher area in between waiting on customers. That can't be legal. The butcher area would end up far from sanitized with all the interruptions, and every bill the cashiers gave out in change would carry salmonella and E. coli. ETA, some of you folks are scaring me. In Washington and California, you need a food handler permit to handle food for the public. Not food that's wrapped up, food that you actually touch, and there are exceptions around baked goods, but if I go into that we'll be here all day. In Washington the cert costs $10, you get it online, it takes maybe half an hour to work through the course that basically says hot means hot, cold means cold, in between is not okay, wash your hands, or clean gloves. I think I'm going to bring my own food to other states. Sounds like a lack of job security. You lost your job, they lost their security. The owner was going to lose his ass financially no matter what happened here. Because of cross-contamination risks by bloodborne pathogens, butcher shops and meat counters have extremely high health code standards they have to meet in most states, which requires training beyond what a cashier/stocker would receive thanks to the use of disinfectant chemicals. The health board would have had a field day as soon as they discovered a bunch of randos were cleaning the butcher area. I would never understand this USA thing. The boss can just say you're fired and that's it? No signature, no writing? What if one is hard of hearing or misinterprets it as a joke? Best part is for the most part health insurance is tied to the job. So you can be fired on the spot and also lose your family's access to healthcare. It's utterly bonkers that they've not revolted over it. It's basically modern slavery. Managers need to know that, like customers, they too are on camera, and if they try to pull stupid shit, that camera footage can be viewed. No work-related errands at lunchtime? Okay. From time to time we have immediate needs for random items in the office, so when that happens, I make a quick run to get the needed item while I'm already out at lunch. This is not in my job description, nor anyone else's. Someone at corporate orders regular office supplies, and that covers most of our daily needs. I've been working here for years and just took it upon myself to fill special orders, since I'm the only person in our office location with a company credit card. Just trying to be helpful, right? I had to special order some paper, which required me to go to the office supply store. It took about an hour. Like I said, I'd been doing this for years with no issue and my efforts had always been appreciated, so I didn't think anything of it. When I returned to the office, I was called in to explain my long lunch to my boss. I told him where I was and showed him the receipt for the paper, but to my surprise, he was still upset. He said all office supplies have to be ordered through corporate. He also said I could no longer use the company card without his okay. QMC. When my co-workers sent me requests, I just told them they needed to contact corporate. Because many of these requests were specific to our department, I was the only one who really knew what was needed, so of course the orders got screwed up, and often took a week or more when they were needed the same or next day. People making twice my salary have been tied up with supply orders and certain projects have been put on hold until special order materials arrive. Sometimes, the items we've gotten are not what we requested, so that caused even more delays. My co-workers are getting frustrated and angry. I could easily resolve these issues, but I've been told to stand down, so that's what I'm doing. I'm anticipating my boss will want to undo his new rule as the outcry gets louder, but it's really not my job. I was just doing it as a favor. I'm sure the experts at corporate can figure it out. Smiley face. Yeah. I think if they come back and ask you to return to the previous favors, tell them you no longer feel comfortable carrying and being responsible for the corporate card, and that you've realized that neglecting your lunchtime really had an impact on your health that you hadn't realized before now that you've been able to take them fully. Also, there's a liability issue if you blend lunch with work errands using your personal vehicle. What if something happens while you are out and there's some sort of accident? No, it's better to keep the lines very clear. In other words, you are no longer available to do errands on your personal time using your personal vehicle or to accept the financial and liability risks associated with said activity. Remember to specifically thank the boss by name for looking out for their well-being. They just need to schedule an hour or two each week for OP to run out and fill immediate orders. Then he gets paid for something he was doing for free, and everyone is happy. I would have been happy with that, but now I'm annoyed about it. I guess we'll see. If they undo the new rule, make sure to be paid accordingly, mileage and whatever other thing you use to buy the materials. The one with the manager who needed to know. Hi, first time posting here. It was suggested over on r/target that I share my malicious compliance story here. Probably not the most original, but I really enjoyed complying my way. About 10 years ago, I was on medication that required me to drink lots of water to stay hydrated. Thus frequent bathroom breaks. At the time, when I had to go, I'd just make the trip and not make a fuss about it. My department manager was very controlling and said he needed to know what was going on all the time. After a couple weeks, he informed me that he was writing me up for not informing anyone about my bathroom breaks. So, cue malicious compliance, before I ever knew what it was. I made sure I walked him directly over the next couple days every time I had to go. And everyone in the store with their walkie-talkie on heard me. Hey, manager, you needed to know when I'm going to the bathroom. I'm gonna go potty now. Thanks for asking about it. Hey manager, I'm taking a pee right now. Should it hurt when I pee? Hey manager, I need to do number 1 and number 2. Hope it all comes out okay. A few minutes later, flush looks good, I'm back on the floor. He calls for me as I'm urinating. Hey, manager, you were looking for me? I'm in the bathroom. Be with you in a sec, I gotta use both hands now. Store managers and HR stepped in at that point and said I didn't need to go the TMI route. I responded wide-eyed and as innocently as I could, I don't want to get in trouble. Manager told me he absolutely needs to know about my bathroom breaks. I was merely doing what I was directed. They said they'd take care of it, and I was specifically asked to never call out bathroom breaks again. My coworkers were laughing about this for weeks. Potty training for your manager. Potty training a petty manager or petty training a potty manager? I'm glad everything came out okay. One of my grandkids told me good job using the potty when I went. LOL. My coworkers were laughing about this for weeks. The fallout we needed. I was hoping that you would have described how your bowel movements looked, then asked if you should be worried or see a doctor. I now have a mental image of Opie as Red from Shawshank Redemption. Bathroom break, boss? If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.